Very good evening. Life History welcomes you for this introductory class on Bhagavad Gita by Sri Pantala Gopala Garu sir. So as we all know, Bhagavad Gita, it is a life, it teaches life skills, and it is a text, many think it's a religious text, which is not. It is actually, it teaches us how to live. So I would request Sri Pantala Gopal Rao Garu sir to start the introductory class. Welcome sir, welcome to Life History.
Om Sri Mahaganaadhipataye Namaha. Om Vasudevaye Namaha. Om Sri Bharati Devi Namaha. Om Sri Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sakla Devataye Namaha. Om Srimad Vyasaye Namaha. Om Vaisampaye Namaha. Om Sri Parasara Narada Sukasvanakadi Rishipangavaye Namaha. Lakshmi Narayana Gurubhyo Namaha. Sri Samamurte Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnascha Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramaddanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Atasi Pushpasankasham Haranu Purashobhitam Ratnakankanakeyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Kutilalakasanyuktam Purnachandra Nibhananam Vilasat Kundaladharam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mandara Gandha Sayuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam Barhi Pinchava Chudangam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Utpulla Padmapatraksham Nilajimota Sannibam Yadavanam Siroratnam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Rukmini Keli Sanyuktam Pitambara Sushobhitam Abhapta Tulasi Gandham Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Gopikanam Kuchatanda Kunkumankita Vakshasam Sriniketam Maheshwasam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Srivatsankam Mahoraskam Vanamala Viraditam Shankachakradharam Devam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Here Krishna is not the God, he is the Jagat Guru. He is the Guru for all of us. My warm welcome to all the Jijnasus. Swastit Bhavatu, Shubham Bhavatu, Sakala Sanmangalani Bhavantu, Ehi Kamashvika Praptirastu, Sankhya Karma Yoga Siddhirastu, Sapta Sopana Adirohana Bhagyamastu. Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dokta Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gita Mritam Mahat. All Upanishads are cows. Gopalanandana Krishna is the Dokta, or the one who milks the cow, one who milks the cows, and Partha is the calf. All intelligent people are the consumers, the milk, the valuable Gita Amritam, the nectar of Gita. Whosoever talks about Bhagavad Gita, they express that he or she is knowledgeable enough to talk about Bhagavad Gita. It is an established fact that nobody is capable of understanding the Gita fully. There are only misconceptions among many. Krishna Bhagavan only has the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. He is the Gita Acharya, and after him, Arjuna has to be mentioned, and of course, Vyasa Maharshi. I wonder why it is said like that. Gita is in simple Sanskrit verse, the meaning of slokas can be understood easily. Yes, but it is like looking at the surface of a great river of great depth. Its greatness is known only when the depth and its contents and multiple uses are understood. I dare to speak on this subject, Bhagavad Gita, with an intention to analyze it from the angle of its relevance and use in day-to-day life for the common man. This has been done by many great people, but mine is at another attempt in my own humble way. Let us go to the first principles. At first, read it out as a textbook. Gita is philosophy and useful only for renounced rishis, munis, the aged people, monks, sannyasis, etc., who have no worldly interests. Children will be diverted from normal life and tend to become sannyasis. This is the misconception of some people who do not really see what it preaches. This notion is entirely wrong. It teaches the art and science of life most rationally for all, the child, the youth, the elderly, and the old, and of course, for mumukshus. Its principles should be studied, understood, and put into practice by one and all. No doubt, it finally shows the path for salvation by leading normal life, and that is desirable too. It's a matter of great joy that various organizations are organizing discourses by highly knowledgeable people on Gita, conducting competitions and doing all that is necessary for its propagation. Hope society of all ages reap its fruits. Now, coming to the topic of concern, what is Bhagavad Gita? Taking a literal meaning, Bhagavat means concerning God, of God, by God. And Gita means song. The definition of Gita is Gayati iti Gitam, which is sung, is song. Gitam is defined as Dhatu Matu Samayuktam Gitamityabhidiyate. Dhatu is Swaram with rhythm, and Matu is a lyric or Sahitya. So, whatever lyric is metrical and set to music and sung is Gitam. Bhagavad Gita is song of God, sung by God, Krishna Paramatma. It is sung by Narayana to Nara, through which he enlightens the Nara about his duty, the way to lead life successfully, his dutiful action, detachment, acquiring knowledge, and attaining the goal. As you all know, there are 18 chapters of Adhyayas in Bhagavad Gita. They are analyzed into 3 groups of each 6 Adhyayas each. They are called Shatkas. Shat means 6. So 1 to 6 chapters is called Karma Shatka, and 7 to 12 is called Bhakti Shatka, and 13 to 18 is called Jnana Shatka. The Pradhama Shatka, Karma Shatka. It consists of Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya, Karma, Jnana, Karma Sannyasa, Atma Sanyama Yogas. Dvitiya Shatka or Bhakti Shatka consists of Jnana Vijnana, Akshara Parabrahma, Radha Vidya Rajaguhya, Vibhuti, Vishwarupa Sandarsana, and Bhakti Yogas. The Tritiya Shatka is Jnana Shatka. That consists of Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogam, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogam, Purushottama Prapti Yogam, Daivasara Sampad Vibhaga Yogam, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogam, and Moksha Sannyasa Yogam. Now, let us have an overview of the Bhagavad Gita. The 78th sloka of 18th chapter summarizes the Gita. This sloka of 18th Adhyaya can be called the gospel and essence of Bhagavad Gita and is referred to as Eka Shloka Gita. यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्री विजयोद्भूति ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम. This is that great shloka. Krishna Paramatma says, where there is Yogeshwara Krishna and Dhanurdhara Partha, there always Aishwarya and Vijaya will be restored. Here, Yogeshwara, the words are used very carefully and meaningfully. Here, Yogeshwara Krishna is symbolic of God Supreme, and Partha represents Nara, our human being, normal human being. Yoga, what is yoga? Yoga is defined as an aprapta vastu praptir labhaha. Yoga, attaining what cannot be attained. So God's blessing is the greatest yoga, and Partha's Dhanu represents the tool for human efforts. Thus, where there is human effort or Manushya Prayatnam, we call, with appropriate tools and preparedness and blessing of God will be there, and their prosperity, victory, success, and justice prevail. This is Krishna Bhagavan's conviction. So, what is our part? We should strive, do Manushya Prayatnam. Without that, nothing can be achieved. Further, with a little elaboration, the 4 verses of chapter 10, 8, 9, 10, and 11 are famous as Chatushloka Gita, are known as summary verses of Bhagavad Gita. In these verses of Gita, the Lord describes the nature of the true devotees and how he enlightens them. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattha sarvam pravartate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha macchitta madat prano bodhayantah parasparam kadayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam jena मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेव अनुकम्पार्थ अज्ञानजन्तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्तु ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. These are the 4 slokas, and the qualities of the devotees are described and how he enlightens them and makes them bright to do their daily duties perfectly and without attachment. We will study all this later in the regular classes. Now, where from this Bhagavad Gita originated? Let us see. As you are aware, Bhagavad Gita is a portion of the Mahabharata. Historians put that the text of Mahabharata has reached its final shape in the 4th century AD, that is Gupta period. And its work started in the 2nd century AD. The Mahabharata is the longest epic poem known and has been described as the longest written poem. The author, of course, is Vyasa Maharshi. It is in Sanskrit with around 2 lakh slokas. This number is put this way, that way. Altogether, the parvas total, it comes to about 11,000 and lot, and the last 2 parvas included, it comes to nearly 2 lakhs. That is what the count says. What is this Bharatam about? Because where from this Bhagavad Gita came? From Bharatam. So let us first see what Bharatam consists. Let us recollect what Nannaya Bhattu says in his Andhra Mahabharatam about this Bharatam. He has written a beautiful poem. Dharma Tatmajjalu Dharma Shastrambani Adhyatma Vidulu Vedantamaniyu Niti Vichakshanu Niti Shastrambani कवि वृषभलु महाकाव्यमनियो लाक्षणिकुल सर्वलक्षण संग्रहमणि ऐतिहासिकुल इतिहासमनियो परम पौराणिकुल बहु पुराण समुच्चयंबनि महिमनियाडु सुंड विध वेद तत्व वेदि वेद व्यासुड आदिमनि पराशरात्मजुंडु विष्णु सन्निभुंडु विष्णुजनीनमयि परगुचुंड जेसे भारतंबु. So whoever looks at it at whatever angle, it is that. So this an encyclopedia for everything. Those dharma shastras, they find it as dharma shastra. Adhyatmas or philosophers find it as a Vedanta. Moralists find it as a moral dictionary, and poets consider it a very great kavya. Lakshanikas call it Lakshana Grantha. Aitihasicul or historians call it Itihasa. Pauranikul, those who tell the stories of Puranas, they consider it as a group of Puranas. Like this, each one, whatever angle from which they look, it appears like that. And it is written by Veda, Vividha Veda Tattva. So he knows all the Vedas. And he has taken the essence from all the Vedas and put it in this Bharata. He is the son of Parasara Maharshi, and he is very close to Mahavishnu. And this is universal. Visvajaninamai Paragutunda. It is universal and it applies to nook and corner of the entire universe. That is Bharata. According to the Adi Parva of Mahabharata, Bharata was the son of King Dushyanta and Shakuntala. He is the Kshatriya of Yona dynasty, and his original name was Sarvadamana. His life is described in Mahabharata, and the name Bharata came to stand for him. Bharata's birth and childhood were beautifully dramatized by Mahakavi Kalidasa in his drama Abhijnana Shakuntalam, which is praised as the best drama. Kavyeshu natakam ramyam tatra ramya Shakuntala tatra apija chaturdhankam tatra sloka chatushtayam. In all the dramas, in all the kavyas, natakam is most interesting. And in that also, this Abhijnana Shakuntala, the most interesting drama. It is most liked. And in that also, the Chaturdha Ankam, and in that also, 4 slokas are the essence. So what are all the 4 slokas? I may deviate a little, but it is very interesting. Kanva Maharshi reared Shakuntala in his hermitage, and King Dushyanta came to see her and married Shakuntala in Gandharva Vidhi. Thereafter, Shakuntala gave birth to Sarvadamana, who is our Bharata. Kanva's grief and his advice to Shakuntala at the time of departing while sending Shakuntala to her husband's place is the content of the 4 slokas. Let us see one sloka. It is best read in the same language, Sanskrit, and in the same words of Kalidasa, and no explanations or other words can describe it so well. Yasyachajya Shakuntaleti Hrudayam Samspashtamutkantaya Kantastambhati Bashvavrutti Kalsachinta Jadam Darshanam Vaiklabjam Mamatavadi Drisamaho Snehadaranyo Kasa Vijante Gurina Katham Nutanaya Visesha Dukkairavaihi. A sage like me who has no attachments and all this, I am feeling so much when my Shakuntala is going from here. My voice is choking, tears are coming from my eyes. If it is the case of a Muni like me, what about the ordinary Grahastha when they send their daughters to the husband's place? See how beautifully he has narrated this. And to tell the greatness of Kalidasa, there is another incident where Kalidasa once visited Varanasi, Kashi, and there is the statue of Vyasa Maharshi, big statue, and his navel is prominently visible there. Kalidasa went there, bowed to Vyasa Maharshi in respect, and then suddenly he put his finger in the navel of Vyasa and told Chakara Kutshi. Chakara Kutshi means a stomach full of cha. In Sanskrit, there is a rule. Tu hi cha vai pada purano iti niyamaha. These four tu hi cha and vai are used to complete the padam or the sentence or sentence of each of the stanza. So they have no particular meaning, but they are used to just as completing things. So this is common for all the poets to use these words, and Vyasa has also used them often. But Kalidasa didn't like that. Why should a person like Vyasa, a great person like Vyasa, should use these words unnecessarily? So immediately what happened? Vyasa squeezed his finger and told, "You will not be relieved until you tell a sloka without cha, because you have criticized me. And that too, you have to tell the sloka explaining the relation between Draupadi and Pandavas." It is not a task for Kalidasa. He immediately made this verse spontaneously. Draupadya Pandutanaya Patidevara Bhavukaha Na Devano Dharmaraja Sahadevo Nabhavukaha. For Draupadi, Pandavas become husbands, younger brothers-in-law, as well as elder brothers-in-law. But Dharmaraja can never become younger brother-in-law, and Sahadeva cannot become elder brother-in-law.
Yeah.
This is the meaning of the verse. Because Dharmaraja is the eldest. Hello? Dharmaraja is the eldest. So there is no elder one above him. And Sahadeva is the youngest, so there is no younger below him. Thus, he has completed the verse without cha. Vyasa was pleased and released the finger and blessed Kalidasa. In another incident, there is an argument between Kalidasa, Bhavabhuti, and Dandi, all great scholars. The question was, who is the greatest of them? They decided to ask Kali Mata herself to decide. They invoked the Devi and prayed and asked for her judgment. Then she, Kavid Dandir na samseha Bhavabhutistu Panditaha. She told Kavi, Dandi is a Kavi, and Bhavabhuti is Pandita. And she kept quiet. She didn't speak anything about Kalidasa. Then Kalidasa got wild and questioned, Koham Rande. Rande is a bad word. Then Kali Mata coolly replied, Tamevaham nasamsayaha. I am you, you are me. There is no difference between us. You are my Amsa. That shows the greatness of Kalidasa. Okay, coming to Bharata. The creation of the text Jaya. Jaya is another name for Bharata. Original name is Jaya. And because it describes the Bharata Vamsa, it is called Bharata. This composition is attributed to Maharshi Vyasa, as already told. The Bharata text begins with the Anukramanika Parva. Janamejiya, the son of Parikshit, originated a sacrifice, snake sacrifice, because his father died of a snake bite by a cause. That's the story. So in presence of Janameya, Vaisampayana recited the wonderful and sacred stories composed by Krishnadvaipayana. After listening to these diverse stories of the Mahabharata, Sutaputra, Ugrashrava, he heard these stories and went to Naimisaranya, where Kulapati Savanaka and other great sages are living. And he started telling them these stories. I am quoting the greatness of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, there are multiple narrators, stories with stories within stories. It contains even its own Ramayana tale, wonderful ancillary stories, baffling structure, a lyrical quality that is extremely spellbinding. It is vast like an ocean. That is the comment about Mahabharata. Okay. At the sacred place known as Samanta Panchaka, long time ago, a war was fought between the Kauravas and Pandavas, and also all the kings of the earth. So at the same place, Tatsila, the story was told. The core of the story being the actual Mahabharata, that are the Kaurava Pandava fallout, which was originally written by Vedavyasa, who, having gotten the gift of the Vedishti, sees the whole event happening. And he started telling this or dictating to Ganesha, it is told. And Ganesha is the writer of the Bharata. The Adi Parva starts with a dialogue between King Janameja, Arjuna's great grandson. Arjuna is our hero of the Bhagavad Gita. His great grandson and Vaishampayana. This is the dialogue between these two. Mahabharata version and Kalidasa version slightly disagree. In the Mahabharata, the core story remains the same as in Kalidasa. In Shakuntala. However, the story Shakuntala's son Bharata is already 6. In this story, Shakuntala's son Bharata is already 6 years old, and when they both appear in Dushyanta's court, the latter rejects both of them by saying that he had no relation with both of them and generalizes women are often experts at speaking lies. So he pretends to forget them in order to avoid embarrassment in front of his ministers and public. Shakuntala leaves angrily and frustrated. Days pass, and Dushyanta feels guilty about his actions and decides to go back and bring Shakuntala and Bharata back. Bharata married Sunanda and had a son named Bhumanyu, then Suvrata, his wife Pushkarni, and their descendants are Parikshit, Janameja, etc. The 18 Parvas are books of Bharata are Adi Parva, Sabha Parva, Aranya Parva, Virata Parva, Udyoga Parva, Bhishma Parva, Drona Parva, Karna Parva, Shelya Parva, Sauptika Parva, Stri Parva, Shanti Parva, Anuशासनिक Parva, Ashwamedha Parva, Ashrama Vasa Parva, Mausala Parva, Mahaprasthanika Parva, and Sargarohana Parva, and last Harivansha Parva and Bhavishya Parva. It consists of 1,500 slokas, 1,500 slokas, excluding Harivamsa and Bhavishya, the last two, Harivansha Parva and Bhavishya Parva. So, thus it is divided into 18 Parvas. And in the Adi Parva, as I narrated, the narration of Vaishampayana to Janameja at Tatsila and etc. is described. And the birth and early life of Kuru or Kauravas and all that is mentioned in the Adi Parva. And in the second Parva, the Maya Danava erects the palace and court at Indraprastha. So that is the eyesore for Duryodhana finally. Their life at the court, Yudhishthira's Rajasuya Yajna, the game of dice, the disrobing of Pandava wife Draupadi, and eventful exile of Pandavas. All these are described in the Sabha Parva. And after the Pandavas were exiled because of Maya Dhyutam, the Shakuni has played a Maya Dhyutam or bad game of dice and defeated Dharmaraja. So they went to Vana or Aranya for 12 years as in an exile, and later on they spent 1 year at the court of Virata. So after that, they came back and the preparations for war started. About the efforts to bring about peace between the Kauravas and the Pandavas sides, which eventually failed. This is called Udyoga Parva. Then the war starts. First Bhishma was the commander-in-chief, then Drona, then Karna, then the Shalya Parva. He's a very interesting character. He dissuades everybody, and that is really interesting. And in the war, so many were killed. And then the Sauptika Parva, in the night, Ashwathama, Kripa, and Kritavarma, they kill all the remaining Pandava army in their sleep. And only 7 warriors remain in the Pandava side and 3 on the Kaurava side. In the Stree Parva, Gandhari and other women of the Kauravas and Pandavas lament the death of their beloved, and Gandhari curses Krishna for the massive destruction and the extermination of the Kaurava. In the Shanti Parva, Yudhishthira being crowned as king of Hastinapura, and he is learning the crafts of society, economics, and politics, etc. from Bhishma, who is on the Ampasaya on the arrow bed. This is the longest part of Mahabharata. And then the Anusasanika Parva. Here, the final instructions of Bhishma to Yudhishthira continue. And the Ashwamedha Parva, the royal ceremony of Ashwamedha, horse sacrifice, conducted by Yudhishthira, the world conquest by Arjuna, and it's told Krishna telling to Arjuna, all these things are there. And then the Asrama Vasika, the eventual death of Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Kunti in a forest fire, and when they are living in a hermitage in Himalayas. Vidura predeceases them, and Sanjaya on Dhritarashtra's bidding was to live in the higher Himalayas. In the Musala Parva, the materialization of Gandhar's curse. Gandhari has cursed Krishna. So that has had its effect, and infighting between the Yadavas with maces or mausulas, and the eventful destruction of the Yadava Vamsha. Then Mahaprasthanika Parva, the great journey of Yudhishthira, his brothers and his wife Draupadi across the whole country, and finally they ascend to the great Himalayas where each Pandava falls except for Yudhishthira. In the Sargarohana Parva, Yudhishthira's final test and the return of the Pandavas to the spiritual world or Swarga. And Harivamsa Parva is in addition. This is an addendum to the 18th books and covers those parts of the life of Krishna which is not covered in the 18 Parvas of the Mahabharata. This is in a nutshell, the story of the Mahabharata. Preparations for war and efforts to bring about peace between the Kauravas and the Pandava sides, which eventually failed. That is Udyoga, that means effort or work. They tried to bring in peace, but the mission failed. The first part of the great battle with Bhishma as commander-in-chief starts. The Kauravas, it is fall on the bed of arrows. These are all including Bhagavad Gita in chapters 25 to 42. This is a part of the Bhagavad Bharata. When the preparations for war were on, efforts were made for bringing about peace and avoid war. All the efforts failed and the war has become certain. There is a drama in Telugu called Pandava Udyoga Vijayam, based on this Udyoga Parva. In this drama, the peace mission of Krishna is beautifully described, and it is very famous in the poems. చెల్లియో చెల్లకో చెల్లియో చెల్లకో తమకు చేసిన ఎగ్గులు సేకిరందరూ. Krishna says, తొల్లిగతించే, he talks to Duryodhana. తొల్లిగతించే, that is past. నేడు నన్ను దూతగా పంపిరి సంధిసేయ, నీ పిల్లలు పాపలను ప్రజలు పెంపు వహింపగ పొందు చేసదో, ఎల్లి రణంబగూర్చెదవు ఎప్పడ చెప్పుము కౌరవేశ్వరా. He asks Duryodhana, do you want the destruction of your own people, or you want to live happily with your kith and kin? And he almost threatens Duryodhana like this. జెండాపై కపిరాజు ముందు సితవాజ శ్రేణియున్గూర్చి, నే దండం గున్గొని తోలు చందనము మీదన్ నారి సారించున్ గాంధీవంబు ధరించి పల్గునుడు మోకంజండుచున్నప్పుడు ఒక్కండును నీ మొర నాలకింపడు కురుష్మానాథ సంధింపుమా. You make peace, O Duryodhana, when they with a monkey flag and white horses, I am driving the chariot with Arjuna seated in that with a Gandiva, his arrow and bows. When he is killing all the Mukha, means the Sanya army, when he is killing all the people, nobody will listen to you. You will be all alone. Be careful. So you think now itself and make peace. That is the advice given by Krishna to Duryodhana. But he didn't agree, and of course the war was fought. First part of the war was led by Bhishma as the commander-in-chief on Kaurava side. Arjuna on Pandava side had Krishna as his Rathasarathi or charioteer. Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra is a blind man. He is a blind king, and he remains in the house. And Sanjaya was on his side, and he asks Sanjaya, "Oh Sanjaya, tell me what is happening there in the battlefield." Sanjaya has got the boon of Divya Drishti. That means he can see anywhere, just like our television those times. This is specifically, some people only had that, and Sanjaya is one who had that Divya Drishti, and Vyasa another. He had Divya Drishti, and he narrated the Bharata, seeing everything. So Sanjaya started telling the story, what is happening in the battlefield, everything in the as an eyewitness. This is starting point of Bhagavad Gita, or the song of God. At every adhyaya there is a saying like Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supinhatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Prathamodhyaya, like that. At the end of every adhyaya there is this saying. That means Bhagavad Gita is Supanishatsu, it is a Upanishad by itself. Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, what not, everything is there. That shows the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya to tell him what his people and Pandavas are doing on the battlefield. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha. This is the first sloka. Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kimakuruta Sanjaya. In the Dharma Kshetra, Dharma Yuddha Kshetram. It is a fair war. Kurukshetram. Those my people and Pandavas are assembled, and what is happening there? You tell me, O Sanjaya. He is asking Sanjaya. Then Sanjaya starts narrating all the happenings there. After some elaboration, the war field, who are all there, who are the great warriors, all these things. And Duryodhana talking to the Drona, all this was described beautifully. The great warriors who are all there. Then the main part of the Bhagavad Gita starts. As requested by Arjuna, Krishna takes the chariot to the middle. Senayor Yuvayor Manche Ratham Stampayamechyuta. He asked Krishna, you please take my chariot to the middle between the two armies, Kaurava and Pandava armies. So he is daring to go to the middle of it. Okay, that's okay. What prompted Krishna to sing the Gita to Arjuna? Why should the Bhagavad Gita sung in the middle of the battlefield when all the army and all the war is going on? So then when he questioned like that, Krishna, Eva Mukto Hrishikeso Gudakesena Bharata Senayor Yavar Uvarayor Mache Stapaitva Rathottamam. As told by Arjuna, he takes the Ratham to the middle of the armies. Then, facing all the relatives opposite, Arjuna was overcome by mixed feelings, fear, sorrow, etc. Then he expresses his condition like this. Sidanti mama gatrani mukhanja parishishyati vepaduscha sarire me ramaharshascha jayate gandivam samsaserasvat tvachaiva paridashyate nacha saknomavastatum brahmativa cha me manaha na kanche vijayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha kim no rajyena govinda kim bhoge jivitena va. Sidanti mama gatrani, my whole body is shaking. Mukhanja parishishyati, my face is drying up. Vyapadusya saririme, there is shivering in my body. Romaharshachayate, my hair is coming out because of fear and all that. Gandivam is the arrow. Sramsate hastat, it is falling out in the hands along with the arrows. Tvakchaiva paridashyate, my whole body is burning. Nacha sapnoma vyastatum, I am in a position of not doing anything. Brahmati vacha me mana, my mind also is wavering. I am not in a fair condition. My mind is not cool. Na kanche vijayam Krishna, O Lord Krishna, O Baba, his brother-in-law. I don't want vijayam. I don't want victory. Nacha rajyam, I don't want the raja or the kingdom. Sukha nicha, I don't want any happiness, comforts. What for all this? Kim no rajyena govinda? What for all this rajyam and all that? Kim bhogaihi? What for all this bhogai jivitena in this life? When all my kith and kin die and we are alone, what is the use of? Who will see me, my greatness? How can I enjoy? This scene is described, I remember, by Gurram Joshua, a poet of his own style, very cool, soothing type of verse. You may be remembering, some of you, his Pushpa Vilapam and all that. So he describes this scene. Velimavul Ruzirambu Grakke Gati Tappenteru Sandhin Sunamulato Gandibamude Sagau Karambul Baba Alambuna Balagadan Sudhananjayundu Kanudan Bashpambulan Insade Balamoleka Mahatamo Yelian Di Talampanradu Ganga Sutta. Velimahul, white horses are vomiting blood. The chariot is losing its path. Whenever I pull the bow arrows on the bow, they are falling down. My hands are not moving. This war is not possible for me. Then he was started crying. That is the meaning of this. When Arjuna when Arjuna, whose duty at that juncture was to fight, expressed that he is not interested in fighting and killing his own relatives, and he is not interested in the Vijayam and all that. It is just like a boy, a girl going for examination, telling you, no, 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 I cannot go. I will not go for examination. I don't want to write. These are all situations in the life. So, as Mahatma Gandhi said, he always had a relief whenever he is in great distress. One shloka of the Bhagavad Gita used to refresh him and used to regain his freshness and do his duty. So, our children also, they can get one shloka which suits them, or the parents can tell them, it is told like this. There is nothing to fear. You go, you write the examination, you will come victorious. If you don't write well today, don't bother. You prepare well. You go tomorrow and write the examination. After all, you will get the overall percentage very good, and you will get the seat in medicine or engineering, whatever it be. So, like that, it is common for everybody. So, here is this Arjuna is like that. And Krishna laughed at him and told. Then the necessity arose for Krishna to prepare him to perform his duty, that is war. His logical arguments and reasoning is so perfect. He says, Klaibyam asmagamapatha, don't be dejected. Naitatvayupapajyate. Naitatvayupapajyate. It is not suitable for you. He is specifically telling you. What is the greatness of Arjuna? Yes, Arjuna is great. He is a great warrior. He can single-handedly win all the enemies. So, for a great person like you, it does not suit you. Chudram hrudayava udbalyam, weakness of the heart is very, very mean. Don't have that. Chatva, so, uttishta parantapa, you get up. So, he is asking Arjuna to get up, do his duty. Don't be afraid. Don't think of all this. That Arjuna asks him, Karpanya dosohata swabhavaha pruchami tam dharma samuda chetaha yachreyahasyan nishtam bruhi tanme sishyasteham chadhimantam prasannam. He asked Krishna, Oh Krishna, I am your disciple. I am Karpanya dosohata swabhava. Karpanatva means meanness, one who is low. With that state of mind, I am not able to decide what to do and what not. Dharma sammoha chetaha, what is proper and what is improper, I am not able to decide. Yat shreyasa nishtam bruhi, what is shreyam or what is good? You tell me clearly. I am only your Sishya. Like that, he entreats Krishna to tell him what to do and what is his due, what is his further course of action. Then Krishna says, why you are afraid? Why you are worried that people are killed and all that? What is killing? What you are killing? Whom you are killing? So, what is this body? This body is a vessel. Body dies, but the inner Atma, that never dies. Vasam sijitnani vihaya navani krishnati naro parani. When the clothes become old, they leave the old clothes and they wear new clothes. It is just like that, nothing extraordinary. Tadha, in the same manner, Sarirani, the people who have bodies, Sarirani vihaya, they leave their bodies. Jirnani, the old, or the mutilated old body, they leave it. Anyani samjati navani, they take new clothes. Just like that, they take new body. Dehi is people, living beings. They leave their old body and enter into new body. There is nothing like that. Nainam chinnanti shastrani. shastras or swords, etc. They cannot chindanti, they can break it or make it mutilated. Nainandhati pavakaha, even the fire cannot burn them. Nachinam kledayantyapo, even water cannot drench them. Naso shayati marutaha, even air, wind cannot blow them off. Achedyoyam adashoyam akledyo asoshevacha. Achedyoyam. This cannot be chedana, means cutting. Adahyoyam, it cannot be burned. Akledyo, it cannot be drenched. Asoshevacha, it can be mutilated. Nichaha, this is permanent. Sarvagataha, it is there in everybody. Stanuhu, achalo, ayam sanatanaha. It is there, it is permanent. It never dies. It is permanent. So don't think that you are killing. It is only the body you are hurting, and the soul is eternal. Like that, he tells the actual meaning of Punarjanma, the Atma, and all these things in simple words. These are simple words in simple Sanskrit, and everybody can easily follow these things. Let us analyze word by word and understand the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. Then you will appreciate what valuable things are there in the Bhagavad Gita. If you have not already studied, I don't mean you don't know Bhagavad Gita. We are all doing it again. It should be done again, so that it goes into the mind and we can tell to our next generation, and we enthuse them and make them do their duty perfectly. Leave them, let them have a better life by knowing all these things. Achedyoyam adakyoyam akledyo asoshevacha nityaha sarvagataha stanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. Slowly Krishna makes Arjuna realize the importance of performing one's duty. Hatova prapyasi swargam. If you are killed, you will get swarga. What is swarga? That is eternal happiness. Nothing more than that. We want happiness in the life. More happy, more happy, more happy. The final, ultimate, ever unending happiness is swarga. There is nothing special about it. Swarga is here itself. Jitva va bhogyase mahim. If you win, you will enjoy the kingdom. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya. So uttishta, you get up. Yuddhaya kritinasya, be prepared. Decide to wage the war. Sukha dukkha same kritva labha labho jaya jaya tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papyamavapsasi. Sukha dukkha same kritva. You make sukham and dukkham, happiness and sorrow, both equal. Labham and alabham, loss and gain. Jayam and apajayam, these are all opposite words, contrasting words. Make them all, think them all are equal. Tato yuddhaya, you make them samam, that is samattva bhavam, or equilibrium, equitable mind. If you develop that, nothing can hurt you. If somebody praises you, don't think that you are great. If somebody denounces you, don't feel unhappy. Tato yuddhaya, so you make the war, you wage the war. Just yujyasva naivam papamavapsasi, you will not get the guilt. There is no guilt for you because you are doing your duty. When you do your duty, there is no guilt. If you have to punish, a policeman has to punish people. A judge has to punish people, but they will not get the papa. He may give even the sentence of death, but he will not be, God will not punish him, because it is his duty he is doing. So that sthita prajnatva, sthitadhihi, he said, dukhesh anudvignamanaha, in dukkam anudvignam, no udvegam or strong feelings. Dukkhed anudvignamanaha sukhesh vigataspruhaha In Sukham, don't lose your senses and go on enjoying. Vitaragavaya krodho sitadhur munirityate sitadhir munirityate. Vitaragavaya krodho. Ragam means attachment. Bhayam, krodham, in all these things, he has nothing. His mind is always tranquil. Such a person is called Sthitadhir, Sthita Prajna. Krodhat bhavati sammoh is the fine teaching. The various steps for the downfall of a person. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Because of anger, your mind will become unsettled. Sammoha smriti vibhramaha. Then you will get forgettiveness. You will forget everything. Your mind becomes blank. Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Because of that smriti bhramsam, buddhi, your senses will not act properly. Buddhinashat pranasati. If buddhi is lost or senses are not working, your mind is not working properly, that is the downfall. Then he advises him, Niyatam kuru karmattam karmajyayosha karmanaha sharirayatra pijatena prasiddhyeda karmanaha. Niyatam kuru karmattam. Do your duty. What is assigned to you, you do that duty. Karmajyayosha karmanaha. Doing work is better than keeping idle. What is the use of simply sitting idle? I don't want to do anything. I want to enjoy or I want to sit. No, I cannot do. I am lazy. So this is all laziness. Leave that. Karmajyayosha karmanaha. Do your duty. These are all great principles in life. Maybe very simple things. But if you keep them in mind, you can do a lot. Karmajyayosha karmanaha. Sharirayatra pichatena prasiddhyeda karmanaha. Even your daily life will not go if you don't do anything. By akarmana means without doing anything. People may feed you 1 day, 2 days, but if you don't feed yourself, if you say, no, my limbs will be strained, I don't want to do anything, even your body will become weak. So he is telling simple principles. Then he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanidbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Wherever there is danger for the dharmam, then for raising the dharma, bringing back the dharma, I am born in different shapes and forms. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkutam dharma samstapanadhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To save the sadhus or good people. Vinashaya dushkutam, to kill the bad people or make the dushkutam end, and to re-establish dharma. I am born. I take incarnation in different yugas. Says, Vidya vinay sampanne brahmane gavihastini sunicheva sapakecha pandita samadarshinaha. Samattam, the outlook. An officer should look all his staff equally. Vidya vinaya sampanne, those who are very knowledgeable and very subdued with the big people and all that. Brahmane, Gabi, Hastini, elephants. This different castes of people. Sunicheva, this dog. Swapakecha, everything is looked by him equally. That is Samadarshi. In the Atma Sanyam Yoga, he says, Chanchalam himanam Krishna Ramadhi balavadhrudam tasyaham nigraham manye vayo hariva sudushkaram. To control my mind, it is becoming impossible, Krishna. Chanchalam hi manam. My mind is not steady, it is chanchalam. Ramadhi padavadridam. So the other thoughts are becoming stronger and I am losing my steadiness. Tasyaham nigraham manyo vayo ariva sudushkaram. Because just like the wind blowing away the things, I am not able to keep my nigraham or control, self-control. In the Atma Sanyava Yoga, Arjuna says his condition. Then Krishna Bhagavan says, Asasyam Mahabaho, there is no doubt about what you told, it is correct. Mano Durnigraham Chalam, Mano Durnigraham Chalam. This mind, controlling mind is very difficult and it goes on straying away. Abhyasena cha kaunteya vairagyena cha bushyate. That comes by practice. You practice the steadiness of mind. You control yourself. Abhyasam, practice, sadhana. Vairagyena means detachment. Don't have attachment to something. Oh, this is my seat. This is my seat. Or why you open my door, office door? I have to come, then only you have to open. This is my seat. Why you are sitting opposite to me? So you stand there like that. That attachment to things, attachment to own people, attachment to the properties, these things you can acquire, but the manas should be with samatvam. Yes, it is my office. I have to do my duty. They are all my people. So you should look all equally. These are all great principles of life. He is telling, not Vedantam, as some people misunderstand. Asamsayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigriham. Why he is calling Mahabaho? Because he is telling Arjuna that you are a great person, you can do. Don't think that you cannot do. Only thing, you have to make a little practice. With practice, you can be perfect and control your mind. In the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, he says, he analyzes the good people and all. Chaturbhidha bhajante mam. My devotees are of 4 types. Jana sukritano jna arto jijnasuru ardhati jnani cha partarshava. Arthos, they are very eager. They want God, they want God, they want. Jijnasus, they want to know what is God. They are interested in the knowledge of God. Ardharthi, some people, they want some benefits. Some are jnanis. So that way, there are 4 categories of people. He analyzed, Krishna analyzed it and categorized people into 4 ways. And in the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, it says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaksha Prayachati Tadaham Bhaktiva Hrutamaschami Prayatatmanaha. This is a very popular word. Mantra Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So those who take bribes and all that, their aides tell, you give something Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam and get your work done by the officer. So that is the misunderstanding of this. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakcha Prayachati. Whatever they give, with their heartful, mindful, and with real intent, whatever they give to me, I am happy. And in the Vibhuti Yoga, he says, what are all the great things? Vedanam Samamodyasmi. I am the Samaveda in the Vedas. What is Samaveda? This mantras of the other Vedas, they are put in song form. That is Samaveda. Samaveda has the Udatta, Anudatta, and Swarita Swaras. Swarita is the main are the central note, Udatta is the higher note, and Anudatta is the lower note. Suppose you call the central one as Sa, Sa, Re, higher, Ni, Sa, Sa, Re, Ni, Sa, Re, Ni, Sa, Re, Sa, Ni, Sa, Re, Sa, Ni, Sa, Re, Sa, Ni, Re, Sa, Re, Ni, Sa, Re, Ni, Sa, Re, Sa. This is called Sama. Our ragas are different. Archika, Gadhika, Samika, Sarantarita, Audava, Shadava, and Sampurna. Those who have 7 notes, Sarigamapadini, they are Sampurna ragas. With 1 note less, it is Shadava or 6 Swara ragas. And 1 less, 5 Sarantarita, 1 more Swara changed, Sarantarita. And this 3 Swaras is Samika. And less than that, Gadha, Gadhika. What is Gadha? A big story. Bharata is a big story. If you go on telling, there was one king called Janamejaya, he performed the Sarpasatri Yaga. Like that, if you say it is like robotic tone, so the listener will feel bored. So you can say, there was a king called Janamejaya, and he once performed this. Like that, if you use higher and lower notes, it becomes Gadhika, Gadhika Raga. And it is a single note, Omkara. That is Archana or Puja. It is called Archika Raga. So here, he says, Krishna is himself the Samaveda. That is the greatest Veda. Vedanam Samavedosmi Devanam Asmi Vasavaha. In the Devas, deities, and the Vasava, Krishna. Indriyanam Manaschasmi Bhutanam Asmi Chetanam. In Indriyas and the Mana. So Sarvendriyanam Sirapradhanam. This brain is the most important part of the body. Manaschasmi Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. In the Bhutas are beings and the life in them. Chetana Prakriti, Jada Prakriti, animate and inanimate, life, non-living. This life part is God. That is the Prajvalita Atma inside. Then the great Visvarupa Sandarsana Yoga, the 11th chapter. Aneka Bhaktanayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divyabharnam, Divyaneko Jatayutam. A great appearance. Arjuna was baffled at that. He himself wanted Krishna. When Krishna told about his original shape and all that, Arjuna asked, let me have a darsana of your Visvarupam. I want to see that. But when actually Krishna showed his Visvarupam, Arjuna was baffled. He was afraid. Divyamalyaparataram, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvasyamayam, Devam Anantam Vishwato Mukham. Sahasramukhas, great radiant appearance. Divyamalyambartharam, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvascharyamayam. It is a wonder seeing that. Dushvedam Marshan Rupam. Then Arjuna got afraid and prayed, oh Krishna, this is enough for me. I have seen. Now you come and appear me in the Saumya Rupa as Janardana, my Lord Krishna. I don't want to see this further. Dushvedam Marushan Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idani Masvi Samruttaha Sacheta Parkutingataha. So Krishna again comes to his normal sim, and Arjuna has gained the knowledge. And then Krishna in the Bhakti Yoga, there are as I told, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga. So in this Bhakti Yoga, he says, Yona Hrushchati Dveshti, Nasochati Nakanchati, Subha Subha Parityagi, Vatamanya Same Priyam, whom I like. That means a person who has these qualities is liked by God. That is the only mean, not that he wants Arjuna to become like this or somebody to become like this and all that. So everybody has to acquire these qualities. That is taught in the Bhagavad Gita. Yona Hrishyati, Yona Dveshti, Nasochati, Nakanchati. Those who don't desire, those don't feel sorry, they don't do envy others. And they're liking unnecessarily other people and showing unnecessary favoritism. All these things, where there is or not there, then only, there only I like that person. Samasyatraucha mitraucha, one who looks enemies and friends equally. Manam and apamanam, praising and dissuading or scolding. Both he takes equally. Sitoshna Sukhadukkeshu Tamasanga Vivajjitaha. Sitoshna Sukhadukkeshu. Sita Ushna, cold, heat. Dukkam, Sukham. All these things, one who sees equally, and Sangha Vivajjitaha, who leaves Sangam or attachment. Do things without attachment. That is his preaching. Do things, do properly, but leave the attachment. Leave it to me. It is doing karma is your duty. Giving palam, don't expect it. If it comes, be happy. Don't expect the karma and do it. So one king asked one great Pandit of Bhagavad Gita and asked him to teach him the Bhagavad Gita. And he used to teach him daily. And this Bhakti Yoga, he taught for 4 days continuously. Then the king told, what do you expect? Then you told, I want some rewards from you. I'm a poor man. I want this. Give me house, land. And he gave them and sent away. Then he told, I'm not happy with what you told. Oh, I will explain better tomorrow. That man came, Pandit. He came and explained again, elaborately, detailedly, in the very meaning of every word and all that. The king had it and rewarded him properly and told, I am not happy with all this. Third day also, the gentleman, great Pandit, he knows everything. He came and he narrated all the details and explained everything, the Bhagavad Gita. But king told, no, I'm not happy with you. Of course, I will reward you because you told me. And told, sir, what is my fault? See, you yourself told we should not expect phalam, but you are telling all this expecting phalam or rewards from me. That's why you are telling. Not with an intention to educate me or understand me, make me understand the inner meanings and all that. Your intention is to get your rewards. So you yourself are asking for the phalam. So he understood this and he felt sorry and he understood the real meaning. Again, Tulya Ninda Stuti Glani, Ninda Stuti Glani, Santushtu Yanakena Chit, Aniketa Stiramati, Bhaktin Mapne Payo Naraha. All these things, that equilibrium, whatever comes, it is our own good, bad, whatever it be. Keep your mind in equilibrium. Don't be become proud when you get something. Don't be dejected when you don't get something. That is a great gospel in the Bhakti Yoga. In the Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, he described the two varieties, Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is only the Paramatma, or the God. or some supernatural, whatever it is. And it's all Prakriti. Male, female, all living beings, everything is all Prakriti. Prakritim Purushancheva Vidhanmadi Upavapi Vikaram Segunascheva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So like that, he makes a division and tells. And coming to Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, which is the next chapter, he describes the three types of gunas. Sattva, Raja, Tama. These are the three gunas in all individuals. Sattva, Rajas, Tama gunas. Sattva, Raja, Tama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha. They're all natural. He says, Nibadhanti mahabaho dehe dehi namavyayam. These are all common to all the dehis, or the people who have bodies or shariram. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat sattvagunam, that nirmalam. Atma prakasha chamana ayam, that the Atma prakasam will be there in the sattvam. Sukha sangena badhnati, it makes you happy. Jnana sangena cha anaka, and it gives you jnanam. So that is the best of all the gunas, sattvagunam. Then rajogunam. Rajo ragatmakam, there will be attachment. Vidhi, you learn this. Trishna sangasamudbhavam, attachment with the sangam or groups. Our Corona has taught us to be away from the sangam. So one way this has done some good for us. Tan nibadhnati kaunteya sarma sangena dehinam. Tamas, next is tamas. Tamas svajnanajam vidhimohanam sarvadehinam pramadasya nidrabhistan nibadnati. So these are the tamogunam is the mean qualities. So here we'll discuss all these things again. That's why I'm not elaborating now what is all this. And Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajah Karmani Bharata. Finally he gives the essence. And in the Purushottama Yoga, he calls Dvavimo Purusho Lokatshara Chakshara Evacha. Akshara and Chara. There are two types of Purusha. Chara Sarvani Bhutani, all the living beings. They're all Charam or Nasanam. They will end. Kutastu Akshara Uchite, Akshara is which does not. That is Atma. In the next chapter, Daivasara Sampati Bhava Yogam. Tau Bhut Sadgau Lokesmin Daivasara Yevacha. Really, this is interesting to know. He has categorized the people into Daiva and Asura, godly and demonly. There are people, there will be people always of these two categories. But the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is to make the Asura into Daiva. That should be the process. What bad qualities are there, gradually develop them and become Daiva. What is divine or godly, it is improving your qualities. Though Bhuta Sarga Lokha Loke Asmin Daiva Surayevacha Daivo Vistarasa Prokta Asaram Pathame Snu. Like that he divides them and tells. In the Saddhatre Vibhaga Yogam, this dietitian's chapter. Here he says how to live healthily, good health, what type of food should be taken. You need not go anywhere, just read Bhagavad Gita. There you have got all the prescription. You learn from the Bhagavad Gita. Ayussatta balarogya sukha prapti vivajjanaha rasya simna stira hrujya ahara satvika arapi. So satvika aharam, if you take this, satvika means sober food, not too much of chili, not too much of not too much of anything. not too much of sweet, everything. Shad ruchis. So you control them and keep in proper proportions. Then ayuhu, you will get long life. Sattam, strength. Balam, arogyam, sukham. All these things you can get by proper diet, he says. Tasya signa snigdha stira hrudya. The heart will be in the stiram, means a strong heart. About care of heart also it told. Ahara sattvika arti. If you take the proper food, sattvika ahara. And the moksha sannyasa yogam. Nashto maha smritir abjat tatasadhanvayachyuta sitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Then here the Arjuna admits, oh Lord Krishna, I understood everything. Now all my this moham or the blank mind, everything has gone. Now I understood, and I will follow whatever you said. Nashta mohaha, my moham has gone. Smriti labha, I got back my senses. Tat prasadam maya achyuta, because of your prasadam. Prasadam means which is given in a best way. The teachings, that is the prasadam, not some laddu or something like that. Because of your prasadam, I got back all these things. Sthito asmi, I am now steady. Gata sandeha, all my doubts are cleared. Karishye vachanam tava, I will do what you told. So the Sishya has understood the preaching of the God, and he told, I will do what you told, because I understood the essence, and I agree that all this is useful for me. In the last yoga, yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra padho danuddaraha tatra se vijyodbhuti dhruvani tirmatir mama. Final, this is the essence of the Ekasloka Gita. Where there is Yogeshwara Krishna, where there is Partha with his arrow and bow, there Vijayam, Aishwaryam, Niti, Dharmam, everything will be there. Swastihi. Om. Any small doubts? If anybody has got, please you can ask me. If it is little doubt, we can clear. There are big doubts, we'll clear in the classes. Anybody?
You can unmute and ask if you have any doubts.
I think people are thinking and they are assimilating this, or trying to negate or agree, want to do all these things. Their mind is in a thinking mood. So let us not disturb them. Let them go coolly. And in the coming classes, we'll discuss whatever doubts are there. We'll go by word by word meaning, and clear all doubts of ours. And we'll do it together. I don't mean to say that I'm telling and you are listening. We are all working together. We'll understand Bhagavad Gita, which is a great manual for everybody who wants to live comfortably and who wants to do their duty properly, who want to come up in the life and do good. It may be child, it may be adult, it may be old man, whoever it be. For everybody, Bhagavad Gita is a gospel, and let us follow this great teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Om Sarve. You want to tell something? Please tell. I will do the Shanti Mantra.
Anyone who is interested in joining the classes, I have sent the form in the chat box and the mobile number too. So you can contact me for the classes. So we are beginning the classes from tomorrow onwards. The class will be every Monday at 7 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m., 1 hour. And it's for all age groups. If anyone want any more details, you can just contact me. I've given my number in the chat box. Thank you very much, sir. It's a very
Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhavagvate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
thank you very much, sir.